We got some devastating updates surrounding the case of Allisha Watts. Man. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Pascal back at it again with another pop-up video. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or X now, and Threads, The Pascal Show. One word, hit that like button down below. And let's not forget to crush that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. And of course, if you're watching on Facebook, please make sure you hit that like and follow button over there as well, if this is your first time checking out this channel right here. Anyway, we got to jump into this story. This is not great news, guys. You know, we've been covering, or at least I've been covering, the story and the case of Allisha Watts. She went out of town. She left Moore County, North Carolina, to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, to spend time with her boyfriend. She was supposed to go to a comedy show. She didn't show up to this comedy show. And since then, until now, family, friends, etc., have been losing their minds trying to find out what actually happened to Allisha Watts. Now, I gave you guys some updates on some things. There were some not so savory things being told, especially about the boyfriend's police record. He's got a rap sheet, especially with some of these things that are in there that would definitely have you looking at this guy horde out here. There's been new updates. There's been new information, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it looks like we're looking down the road or the avenue of this possibly being M. And I got to use these code words, unfortunately, but as you can see right here, police are investigating crime of M in the case of missing Moore County woman Allisha Watts. Now, I have to say this really quick before we jump into all this, because of everything that they've recently exposed with James Dunmore, her boyfriend's rap sheet, given the fact that he has an extensive history of taking people, of hurting loved ones, of DV, so on and so forth. It literally gives you the idea of, maybe something bad happened to this woman. I hate to be that guy to say that, because I don't want that. I want her to be found alive. But now you got police looking at this situation as if it is that way because of this man's very, very spicy track record out here. All right. But let's get into this article. This is just, like I said, it's not the greatest news. I wish I was coming to you guys with better news than this, but we gotta tell the news and tell the facts. So let's get into this. So it says here, police suspect missing Moore County woman Allisha Watts was M'd, or unalived, according to search warrants related to the case. The search warrants, first obtained by ABC affiliate WSOC, show that CMPD have been searching for, quote unquote, any evidence of the crime of M, as well as materials that may be used to clean up or cover up evidence of homicide or A. Now, let me just say this really quick, okay? Obviously, they're going to be looking to see if there's maybe bleach, streaks of the chemicals in certain places, maybe kind of like Brian Koberger. Maybe they got, like, he's got surgical gloves. Maybe he was using dishwashing gloves, whatever it may be. Items, tissues, chemicals, etc. Remnants of any of that, anywhere that she could have been last seen in his presence. Because you got to remember, he is the last one to see her alive. I repeat, he is the last one to see her alive. So if they're looking at a possible foul play situation, which obviously they should be, unfortunately, then they're looking for items. They're looking for evidence to show, like, yeah, he done did this, right? But let's get into this, because obviously there's more to this, right? So let's look at this. Investigators searched Watts' boyfriend's home, James Dunmore's home. Remember, they went in there. They were doing a deep dive, trying to see what was going on in his house, if there was anything in his house. They also searched an Audi vehicle that was parked at the home on July 26th. I mean, let's be real. This dude from my understanding, he was staying with, it wasn't his home. I think he was renting it or he was staying with someone. But he still, if that Audi is his car, he must have been doing fairly well for himself when he got out of prison. I mean, that's what I think, but maybe I'm wrong. But there was an Audi vehicle that they were searching as well that was parked outside of the home on July 26th. But so that was just a few days ago. All right. And that was 10 days after Watts was last seen alive. Again, you got to remember, he is the last one to see her alive. And there's more information in here on why he was in that car. There's some new information in this article, which I found very interesting. We're going to get into it. The narrative for the warrant says, quote unquote, cellular data records that have been obtained show that Allisha's phone, her boyfriend's phone, and the vehicle, her car, all returned to his home or to that very home at 1633 Pamela Lorraine Drive at around 3 p.m. on the 16th of July. And all three remain at that location until 6 a.m. on July 18th, 2 days later. Let's continue on, though. The search warrant shows the detectives seized clothing, cell phones, camera, tablet, laptop, memory cards, swabs, and photos during this search. Investigators also identified James Dunmore as Watt's boyfriend, which we already know. We all know that. And he is the person that was living in that house that they searched. But investigators stopped short of calling him a suspect in this case. And I still want to know why. Why? Like, you know what I'm saying? This is when we hit the orchestral music and say, like, wrap it up, B. Throw them shackles on him. Say that he is a prime suspect and call it a day. And I get it that they got to still do their due diligence and all that. But at the same time, dag nabbit, come on, man. Just hit the orchestral music. Wrap it up, B. But that's just me. Previous police reports say Dunmore has a history of DV and identify him as a person of interest in the case. So they don't say that they stop short of calling him a suspect in the case, but he's still a person of interest in the case. Okay. Dunmore was also, this is the part that I found very interesting. Dunmore was also found unresponsive in Watts's car on July 18th. Remember, the car pulled up. Let me just remind you guys. The car pulled up on July 16th, and it didn't leave there for 48 hours until the very next, or, less than 48 hours until the 18th of July. And that's when there was movement. That's where they found him, unresponsive in her car somewhere else, parked in a DMV parking lot, him passed out in the car. Now, there's new information, which I find to be very interesting. Take a look at this. The new warrant said he was unresponsive after apparently trying to do something to himself. I'm just going to highlight it. I can't say it, unfortunately, but he was trying to do something to himself, yo. Now, it makes you wonder, why? Why was he trying to do something unthinkable to himself? I'm sorry. Do the math. 2 + 2 = what? Moving on. At this point, Watt's whereabouts remain a mystery, and there have been no arrests or charges filed in the case. Now, I'm not here trying to talk trash on 5-0. I am not here to talk trash on 5-0. I'm not. I understand that they got to do everything they can, piece all the pieces of this puzzle together to make one big old picture so that they can actually throw some charges on this dude. So, of course, they're not going to be quick to sit there and go, yep, that's the guy. I get that part. But if you look at the timeline, y'all, the timeline's screaming foul play. The timeline is screaming that something bad happened. Maybe there was a fight on the way back home from her place, when they drove from her place in Moore County to Charlotte, North Carolina. Maybe there was a fight. You got to remember, it pulled up at 3 p.m. on the 16th of July. Last time she was ever talked to, seen any presence of anything. And then 48 hours later, he is found at the DMV. And if I'm correct, there was a parking lot of a DMV in Anson County, if I'm correct, if my memory serves me correctly, 50 miles away from Charlotte, North Carolina. So instantly I'm sitting here going, wait a second. So there was no movement, no cars. They didn't leave the house for 48 hours. And then suddenly he makes a move. And when he does do that move, he's trying to do the unthinkable to himself. And he's found, gone, like, sleep in the car because he was trying to do something 50 miles away from Charlotte. Sums up. And I guarantee you, if she really is, I pray to God she's okay. But obviously they're thinking that this is now a homicide. And if that is the case, they need to be looking at where he was 50 miles outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. That's what they should be doing right now. I'm hoping that's what they're doing. Let's keep it real. I'm hoping that's exactly what they're doing. But at the end of the day, this is some really, really bad news, y'all. Because if it ends up being this, then my heart and prayers go out to the family and friends that are all affected by this story and by this case and by the possibility, because I'm still holding on to a little bit of hope, the possibility of her not being around anymore. Like I said, this guy has a track record like you wouldn't believe that includes violence and taking of people, for lack of a better term. You already have all of that. And then she ends up missing. This is terrible, y'all. But to me, foul play is going on here without a doubt. And the other thing, too, is, did he have help? Or did he do this all on his own? Because you also got to remember another piece. He was found in the car, in her car, gone, sleep, for lack of a better term. Did they not find any remnants? Maybe there was any droplets of red in the car. Was there any traces of her DNA that may have been taken out of her body, if you get what I'm saying? Did they check the back of the car? Anything of that sort? Why would he be out there 50 miles away from Charlotte, from his own home, in her car? There's got to be some proof of something left inside or around that car. And they need to look at that car too, deeply. And they need to do another deep dive into that house. Real talk. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Do not forget to hit that like button, and most definitely do not forget to crush that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. And please do not forget, if you're watching on Facebook, hit that like and that follow button on Facebook as well. It'd be great to have you part of the Pascal Show family. Anyway, this sucks. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.